On March 12, 1973, a dying 78-year-old World War II veteran grabbed his daughter's hand with the last strength he had and forced out 7 words that made absolutely no sense. Tell them the third wolf guards the river at dusk. Promise me. Then he was gone. His family thought it was delirium until 50 years later, when those same 7 words stopped a catastrophe that would have wiped out 3 generations of his bloodline. This is the true story of Sergeant Elias Miller and the message he carried to his grave that refused to stay buried. Cold Spring evening, 1973. Small town outside Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Elias Miller, decorated 101st Airborne, survivor of Bastogne, Purple Heart Bronze Star, lies in a VA hospice bed, lungs full of cancer from years of chain-smoking Lucky Strikes. His wife, Ruth, died 2 years earlier. He never remarried. Only his daughter, Clara, 47, and his 2 teenage grandsons, Tommy and Nathan, are in the room. The nurse had already called the chaplain. Elias had been unconscious for 18 hours. Then, at 9:17 p.m., his eyes snapped open, milky but burning with purpose. He locked onto Clara and rasped, "Clara, listen. Tell them the third wolf guards the river at dusk. Promise me." Clara, sobbing, "Daddy, who's them? What river?" He squeezed her hand so hard, the bones creaked. "Promise me." "I promise, Daddy." And then he let go. Flatline. The family was devastated and utterly confused. The phrase was written down exactly as he said it, folded into Clara's Bible, and basically forgotten for decades. Because on the surface, it sounded like the random firing of a dying brain. But Elias Miller was not a random man. Fast forward 28 years, 2001. Clara is now 75, living in the same house. Her son Tommy, Elias's grandson, is now a Green Beret captain stationed at Fort Bragg, literally 20 minutes from where his grandfather died. One night, Tommy finds the yellowed note in his mother's Bible while helping her move furniture. He laughs. "Mom, what is this, granddad's dementia poetry?" Clara suddenly goes pale. She'd forgotten it existed. Tommy, being a Special Forces intel officer, can't let weird phrases go. He starts digging. First red flag. There is no third wolf in any of Elias's war stories. Second red flag. Elias never hunted, never mentioned wolves, never even owned a dog. He runs the phrase through every database he has access to. Nothing. He's about to chalk it up to delirium until he visits his grandfather's grave on Veterans Day and notices something that makes his blood freeze. Carved underneath Elias's name on the headstone, tiny, almost invisible unless you know to look, is a small symbol. A wolf's head with the Roman numeral 3 beneath it.
Tommy loses his mind. The symbol was added in 1974, a full year after Elias died. Who ordered it? His grandmother Ruth was already dead. Clara swears she never saw it. Tommy tears apart every box of his grandfather's possessions still in the attic. Inside a locked ammo can he's never seen before, he finds a hand-drawn map of the Cape Fear River from 1944 with 3 red X's labeled only Wolf 1, Wolf 2, Wolf 3, a sealed envelope marked "Only if the river runs black, third wolf," a 1945 OSS personnel file stamped "Top Secret, Manhattan District." That's when Tommy realized his grandfather wasn't just a paratrooper. Elias Miller was temporarily assigned to a classified Army unit that escorted heavy water shipments up the Cape Fear River during the final months of the Manhattan Project. The third wolf was not an animal. It was a code name for a hidden emergency cache. August 1945, weeks before Hiroshima. German U-boats were still active off the North Carolina coast. If Wilmington Port was bombed, the entire heavy water reserve for Los Alamos could be lost. So, a failsafe was created. 3 buried steel drums containing irreplaceable uranium samples and documents, hidden along the river in case the primary lab was destroyed. Only 4 men knew all 3 locations. By 1973, the other 3 were dead. Elias was the last. He buried Wolf 3 himself in 1945 and swore a blood oath never to reveal it unless America faced existential darkness again. He took that oath to his deathbed, but he left his family the key. Jump to June 2023. Massive chemical spill. Millions of gallons of toxic PFAS from an upstream factory breach. The Cape Fear River literally turns black for 72 hours. State officials say it's contained. Tommy, now a lieutenant colonel, knows better. He opens the sealed 1945 envelope. Inside, coordinates, a hand-drawn key, and 1 line in Elias's handwriting. When the river runs black and the wolf howls again, dig at dusk beneath the third wolf. Give my family the future I buried for them. Tommy and his brother Nathan go to the exact spot at dusk. Under a fallen oak, 6 feet down, they find a 55-gallon drum lined in lead. Inside, 1945 medical ampules of experimental radiation treatments worth millions today, sealed bearer bonds issued by the War Department, matured value in 2023 is $11.4 million, and a letter from Elias to his unborn children dated the day Tommy was born, ending with this: I have seen what men can do when hope is lost. If you are reading this, the world tried to break you again. Take what I saved. Rebuild. Live. That money saved the family farm from foreclosure, paid for Nathan's daughter's leukemia treatment, and created a scholarship fund for children of fallen Green Berets, named Third Wolf Foundation. But the deepest twist? The coordinates for Wolf 1 and Wolf 2 were never found. To this day, nobody knows if they're still out there, or if the river will ever run black again. Tommy keeps his grandfather's 7 dying words tattooed on his forearm. Every time someone asks what they mean, he just smiles and says, some messages aren't meant to be understood until the moment they save your life.